So I decided to buy this because it was apparently $25 on Amazon, and it's not what would you think, because I normally buy when it comes to video game or NTSC or American version, but since I want to support Idea Factory and Compile Heart, and I saw this for 25 bucks, this game, Hyperdimension Neptunia Re-Birth-1 Plus, published and developed, well, published by ID Factory, Compile Heart. Of course, the developer is Felistilla, and yeah, this is a Japanese import for 25 bucks. See, you can see by the language, and it's apparently it's rated for E for everyone, and I'm assuming B, 0B. And if you don't know what this game is, it's a PS4 version of Re-Birth-1 Plus with the oracles and cave and 5BB. They were usually on the other games, and of course the 60 frame. And of course, if you heard, Re-Birth-1 basically had a lot of DLC update on the Steam version. So the question, am I gonna play this? Well, not really. It's in Japanese, and I just bought it because I want to support them. However, I just found something interesting that's even better than having this, and that is apparently new DLC now available for Hyperdimension Neptunia Re-Birth series. Check this out: Survival Mode, Share Quest, Giant Island, Mini Island, Lilia Dungeon, and guess what? Chibi Compa, Chibi IF on Rebirth 2 on Steam. Oh my gosh, I did not see this coming. Yeah, this is what the vlog is all about, this topic.
Hello guys, NautoAis here, and this will be actually for a long time a follow-up on the 2019 thoughts of, believe it or not, Neptunia Rebirth series having exclusive new DLC on Steam. So not on the Vita, of course. There have been Rebirth Plus for the PS4, that also doesn't count. And of course, if you heard, Rebirth is gonna come June of 2021. And if you've been following the website, you've been following Rob Dizzle and Sandragoon, we're gonna talk about it. That actually there is something new that's not in the PS4 version of Rebirth 1. So Neptunia Reverse gonna have all the content from Rebirth Plus 1. Also, the something new, and those are the oracles and Uzume, and this was actually only exclusive for Reverse, and that is R4. Yeah, believe it or not, spoiler, I know that R4 is actually playable on Reverse. So Uzume is playable, the oracles are playable, and then R4. But I think the biggest one is R4 there. So let's go back in 2019, because I was meant to do this, but then things happen. That is, believe it or not, the Rebirth series on Steam have new exclusive DLC that's, like I said, it's not on the other version. And I said before, the reason is open source. Steam is open source. You put your game on PC, you can mod it without hurting the game itself, without breaking the game. You can mod it. That's why in Resident Evil you see some things that you shouldn't. That's why Capcom don't like it. And other games as well, you know, you can do mods. So is it illegal? No. Is it kind of wrong to some extent? Depends what you're looking at. Can it ruin the reputation of the game? Possibly, but again, it's not really hurting anyone. It's not breaking the game because you're doing it on single player. You do it on a multiplayer, that's a different story, and you're a jerk for doing it. Single player, nobody cares. So there's no different with the Rebirth series. So, of course, I did already talk about the Babysitter Club, which is basically for Rebirth 1 and Rebirth 2. You get to play as Chibi Compa and Chibi IF. And the funny part about these characters are they have higher attribute than the normal character. That's so funny, but that's how Idea Factory works there. So of course, first one that was exclusive on Rebirth, because it's actually this one. The funny part is this particular mode was actually in the Japanese version of Rebirth 3. They removed it in the US version because, again, it was a time where Idea Factory was being cautious and they were afraid that something bad might happen, so they're trying to impress Sony at a time. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what the controversy, why they have to remove it, but they did remove it. But on the Steam version, they have this, and that is let's get Neptugated on Rebirth 3 V generation. And here's the description. Let's get Neptugated, this holiday season with a brand new DLC. We are excited to announce a brand new DLC for Rebirth 3. I'm paraphrasing to some extent. Titled Let's Get Neptugated. DLC now available with a long week. Okay, this is a long time ago, but the MMSRP price is $2. So basically what it is, it unlocks an event called Neptunication, where Neptune asks questions to the player. Get to know Neptune better by asking her the question. And then of course you can see what it is. And as friendly reminder, fans can pick this Rebirth series name. Okay, that's really just a sale. Yeah, once in a while they have a sale. But the whole point is, I'm trying to say here, this in the West is exclusive only on Steam. It's not on the Vita version. They moved it. Unknown reason, but there was, I guess, something about it. But there was also like something that happened that you get married with Purple Heart. Again, I don't know about it, but it is what it is there. But yeah, that's what it is there. So I don't think the controversy, whatever. So let's move on. And then later on, of course, this one. Yeah, this one, the Babysitter Club and the Paint Train DLC. Now it's out. Of course, I already talked about the Babysitter Club, which is it's only exclusive to Rebirth 1 and 2, because we're actually in Rebirth 3. In the PS3 version, yes, they are DLC. Vita version, I think it was a free DLC, so like it added the story. Because from what I heard, Rebirth 3 actually, there's some difference versus the PS3 version, but I did talk about it again, like I said, because of the open source. And then of course what they say about the paint terrain is they added new 2 stages that's exclusive from a different game. Like this one here, I'm gonna, if I can click it, no I cannot click it, but this one I'm pointing out with Vert and the twins, that's from it first debuted in Victory or Rebirth 3. And then this one, the Beachside Shore, that's in Rebirth 2 or Mark 2. Does it benefit anything? Not so much, but new enemy, more variety for your game. Yeah, $2, I don't think that's really much. Should have been free? Sure, but you gotta understand what they're doing, and that costs money there. So, of course, again, like I said, the Babysitter Club, Paint Rain, there it is. Again, open source. It's just new enemies and new terrain, like more places to go to. So, like I said, I did talk about the Babysitter Club. It's actually there. So, moving down one is this is the big one here. And let me see. I want to double check. Yeah, there was 2 more I want to talk about. But first, this one is the big one I want to give my thoughts on. New DLC now available for the Hyper Neptunia Re-Birth series. So this is actually in all the Rebirth, like I said, except for the Babysitter Club, only 1 and 2 because they're already in part 3. So they add new mode that's never been in the game before. First of all, survival mode. Technically, it's a challenge. You get stuff. Supposed to be much better than the Coliseum, from what I heard. But again, if your character is super powerful, because remember, the Steam version came out a long time ago, and the new DLC that's open source came out 2019. You're gonna be super powerful. It's kind of pointless at this point on there. So yeah, survival mode, but again, something that's interesting. share quest. This is actually very handy. So if you never played a Neptunia game, this is your first time, you might want to add this. And what it does is in the game there is something called share, and it's very handy, especially depends which game, but they do help you build it up. And sometimes share grinding, it's take too long. Trust me, it does take too long. Sometimes you have to manipulate the game in order to get the true ending. You have to basically manipulate the share. That's what it is. The whole point of this one is it makes the game easy to get share. So it's easy share grinding. Of course, opposite to that one is Giant Island. So I'm going to read the description of this one because I think what benefit is stronger enemy, easy to level grind. Definitely. So Giant Island DLC brings exactly that. An island inhabited by stronger enemy, a perfect place to relax in the sun and grind. Again, level grinding, uber level grinding. So again, you have to be a bit powerful. Comes in handy there. And then of course there's Mini Island. And the whole point is Mini Island is introduced an island filled with miniature monsters but with more experience points to gain. So there you go. This one is we want more challenge but get a lot of experience. From what I understand, easy enemy, but I need super experience really fast. There it is. So again, you might say, oh, that's pay to win. Well, it's sort of a time saver, but it's not so much. So, but you decide. And then the Lilia Dungeon, another one that's beneficial if you don't want to take the time to Lily rank grinding. So again, let me read the description. The Lilia Dungeon DLC allows players to explore Lily ranks, specifically dungeon, and raise their Lily rank at the fastest rate. Fastest rate there. Each time you defeat an enemy or if you use an item that enemy drops, your Lily rank increases tremendously. All the enemy are also recolored. It's cute pink fashion, whatever. And like I said, it depends on what game. I know definitely Rebirth 2, if you want to get the true ending, you gotta build up that Lily rank. To some extent in Rebirth 1, not so much. But when you have a high Lily ranking, it gets beneficial. You add new stuff, new skill. Again, if you don't want to grind because it does take time, there you go. It cuts in half the grinding part. Again, comes in handy there. $2. Again, why is it not free? Again, open source, material, time, you name it, whatever. At least they're not selling it for $4. I mean, it's $2. And then, of course, like I said, back again, Babysitter Club, just do additional. So the whole point is that the idea with that one is it kind of benefits the player, especially if you're just starting. Like if you're already far in the game, you're already all maxed out, then yeah, it's probably gonna be useless. But if somebody say it started, definitely you might want to get the Lilia Dungeon, the Mini and Giant Island, and the Share Quest. It will come in handy, especially when you're trying to get the true ending, especially in Rebirth 2, because with the ending you have to do, and definitely is gonna save time there. I mean, once you finish the game in Rebirth, it'll be faster when your next playthrough if you have the time, if you're willing to put the time as well. But again, beneficial, $2. I don't think that's much. I know it's just my opinion, but again, better than nothing. You know, I mean, they're trying to help you again on the Steam version. Is it on Reverse? I don't know. It would be nice if it was. I have not been following that much. All I know is, like I said, Ultimate is in the game, R4 is in the game. Of course, a little side note here is, of course, if you've been following the Neptunia shooter, if people don't know, this actually was made Idea Factory International. Yeah, this is an American-made game. Of course, another one is Super Neptunia RPG, made by a Canadian developer. Censorship-wise, blame Sony because they're idiots. So I just want to point that out. This is like made in the US by the US division team. And the funny part now is because in Japan, if you pre-order Reverse during the summer in Japan, you get a free pre-order and you get this on the PC. Yeah, it's only a PC. I think you get a code for it. Yeah, so again, just want to share that one. And the biggest one, like I said about Uzume, that's why I keep saying Uzume, that's on Reverse, is Again, they did it again. The Idea Factory International team, because it's open source, they added Uzume on all Rebirth series. However, she is a little bit broken a bit because from what I understand is she does have a lot of moves and she doesn't really have a lot of equipment. You can't buy equipment for her. On the Rebirth series, there's no equipment. What she got, that's really it. To compensate with that, from what I understand is she is very powerful from the get-go. Of course, if you saw my showcase on Rebirth-1, I was playing with Lilia and Uzume there, so there it is. But yeah, but she's a bit broken in the game. But again, hey, you know, whatever. I mean, it's all for fun. I mean, again, it's single player mode there. And also, there was another one that's only in Rebirth 1, and I think it's called Follow Along. That was actually only in Rebirth 1 for whatever reason. It's kind of weird there. And of course, also, if I can find it, beside the Babysitter Club, the Oracle was actually also in Rebirth 1. Yes, the Oracle. The reason why I say only Rebirth 1 is that let me check. Alright, there you go. So of course your characters, because they're already in Rebirth 2, you just have to do the plan. And in Rebirth 3 it was a free DLC. So of course, like I said, on Rebirth 1, of course on Reverse, they're in the game already. So but in Rebirth 1 on Steam, you have to do DLC. So this is it. I did play it. And another one is Tag Along, which is this is another one that should already be from the get-go, but yeah, it was on Rebirth 1, basically copying V2R. V2R, that's what they introduced. It wasn't even in V2. I don't think the Tag Along was not even in Rebirth 2 and Rebirth 3. So I think it's only in Rebirth 1. Oh, of course, another one they added in is the AV Club, which is just a gallery mode. For whatever reason, they didn't add it in, so that's kind of weird there. But again, here you go. Tag Along, of course, the Oracle, only the first game. And let's see what else I can see this. It's been a long time ago. Nope. Yeah, it looks like it's just the same information there. So yeah, that's basically the DLC that's exclusive for the Steam version of the Rebirth series. And my thoughts about it, I think it's great that they're doing something like this. How come they stopped? It could be something more than Mizzy probably told not to do it, or you know, it's really just, hey, you know, to some extent is that people are gonna buy. I mean, like I said, the game released like in 2015, 2016, and you're doing the DLC in 2019. It's good, you know, you're supporting an old game, but there is like a downside. Are people really playing them? I mean, unless you are barely starting, it makes sense there. Definitely makes sense there. But my thoughts about it, I think it's great. It is coming handy when you barely started. But if you're already long way uber far, then probably not. I mean, it is what it is there. So, but it is sort of great they're doing it. And are they going to do it in the long run for other PC version? We'll just have to wait and see. Because I know the another one they did actually is, if I can find it here, is, let's see, Cyber, yeah, so in Cyber Dimension, there's actually more clothes, like there are the Holy Robe that's only in the PC version. Let's see what else they have here. New accessories. There it is, the goddess outfit for the normal characters. Normally would be the goddess. So they added some new cosmetic stuff, and again, mod easy. So think of it as an official mod, not really that bad. So that's actually my follow-up thoughts on this. I think it's great. Maybe some of the idea, that's why Uzume is on Reverse. They got idea from the open source for the Rebirth series, who knows, R4. Hey, you know, it is what it is. Is it possible to be on the Reverse? Yeah, I mean, like I said, the characters is on Reverse already, the Oracles, the Uzume. I don't know about the Chibi Compa and Chibi IF. I don't think it isn't. I don't know why they wasn't, but again, who knows? And maybe more Maybe they'll do a DLC in the long run. Who knows about it? Maybe there's Reverse 2, a remake of Enhance of Mark II. Who knows? Maybe they'll actually finally bring back Gus and Nisa. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts on the Steam Update DLC. Yeah, I was meant to do this in 2019, but time kind of forgot about it. It's just sort of a kind of work this time because of Neptunia Re-Birth coming outside of Japan on June 2021, so can't wait for that one. So there you go. So you decide whether it's handy or not. For me, it is because I barely started on the Steam version. I'm mostly focused on the Vita trophies. That's why. So those are my thoughts. With that, I'll see you guys later.